Alright, welcome back everyone. I of course am Niz, you're watching NizCast, and this is our second night of casting the Dota 2 Canada Cup. We're still in the group stages, we're still in Group A actually, as well, like I said, this is our second day. So we're going to round out our final games for Group A and determine who will move on to the next round. This game is kind of important. We've got Isurus on the Dire side. They're going to be going up against Pain. And neither of these teams have actually managed to win a game yet in the group stages. Both of our games tonight are actually going to be featuring Isurus. Of course, this game against Pain, and then the one following this is going to be Isurus versus Summoner's Rift. Now, the only way the top two teams in this group can actually change, and those, of course, the top two in the group advance to the next round, is if Isurus wins both the matches today. If Pain wins this game, basically all it does is pretty much move Pain into the third place in the group. Third still doesn't advance you to the next round, so it's more for bragging rights than anything. And if Isurus manages to win this game, then they'd have to then win against Summoner's Rift in our next game, which would create a three-way tie to determine which of those three teams would be our top two and advance to the next round. So Isurus, it's going to be a little tough for them to win both those games, but they're going to look to, well, first try and take a game off Pain. And
5 seconds.
Yeah, maybe they'll be able to do it. Their previous record against Pain, not the greatest. I believe Pain's record against them is pretty substantial. I think they've won every recent matchup. So it's gonna be difficult for Isurus, but they're gonna give it a shot. And they didn't manage to win a game last Canada Cup in their group stages, so they're trying to improve this time around and at least get a game. Pain. They, like I said, they've already lost 2 games, so there's no way that they can advance coming out of the group stage. But of course, they want to be the premier team out of these two when it comes to South American teams. And well, they finished 3rd in their group last Canada Cup. They're going to look to try and do that again this time around. Now we saw Pain Gaming actually do a pretty decent job in their first 2 games that we saw. They kind of got run over as well, though, but they showed some promise, especially in their game against Leviathan. They showed that they could basically all be on the same page and really play together and coordinate and get some good ganks in. They did. They attempted a few smoke ganks. Some weren't too successful, but they did make it work a few times, and they had a few really nice ganks and really nice TPs to counter gank and stuff like that. In the end, as the game went on, they unfortunately just kind of got outplayed by both Leviathan and Summoner's Rift, but they did show some really good promise. Isurus, we didn't really get to see too much from them in their game against Leviathan because Leviathan really ran over them. And they're going to look to kind of redeem themselves in this game. Just a quick reminder to everyone, this is not the official stream for the Dota 2 Canada Cup. If you're looking for that, it's at twitch.tv/Dota 2 Canada Cup. That's the official stream. I'm doing this just because I want a little bit of practice and I want to cast some really good games. And I'm a big fan of the Dota 2 Canada Cup.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, I just want to cast some games and try and support the tournament as best as I can. You can also support the tournament by, of course, giving them a follow on their main page, but also buying the in-game tickets, $8.99, and it comes with a custom Sven set as well. And 12.5% of that ticket price goes directly back into the prize pool. It's somewhere around $11,000 right now, so that's always great. But let's catch up in the draft here and talk a little bit about what these teams are doing with their picks and their bans. So Troll and Sniper were the bans in the first round for Isurus, and Pain chose to ban out the Storm Spirit and the Wisp. Isurus picked up Vengeful Spirit and Lina, and Pain picked up the Queen of Pain and the Juggernaut. Now we see Phoenix and Axe getting banned out thus far. And immediately, I look at this and I see Venge Lina.
Dire
And
team
Lina
back.
is one of those heroes that just absolutely dominates in the mid lane. However, some teams actually don't like to run her in the mid
Dire
lane.
team
I'm
pick.
not actually too sure about Isurus. I'm not sure if they're a team that really likes to run Lina in the mid lane. I haven't really seen them do too much of either. So it'll be interesting to see how they're going to choose to run that this time around. As for Pain Gaming, well, this is different than what we saw them run earlier in the tournament as well. They do like to run the jug, so they're going to pick that up this time around. I don't think they play Queen of Pain all too often,
5 seconds
but we're going to
remaining.
look and see how they're going to get that done. I'm really looking forward to see what they pick for Tavo in the off lane. I felt like their picks in the first two games weren't really picks that were going to allow him to do too much. The first game, I believe he was on Tidehunter, and he was doing a lot of counter initiation with the Blink Ravage on the Tidehunter, and he wasn't really able to do too much proactively in those games. And the second game, he was on Bat Rider, and he didn't really have the best game overall either. But we're going to see Bat Rider getting banned out here by Pain, and Isurus banned out the Lion. So it'll be interesting to see what they put Tavo on, whether it's going to be one of those more
Radiant
micro-intensive
team
heroes like a Beastmaster or an offlane Enigma, which they like to run quite often. But Isurus now picking up Puck. So Puck, one of those versatile heroes that you could put in the mid lane or in the off lane. It's a great hero if that Queen of Pain looks like it's going to be going mid, then you can put the Puck there. Of course, you can just phase shift to dodge the Shadow Strike coming out for Queen of Pain. And most Queen of Pains will actually elect to not even
10
put the
seconds
point to Shadow
remaining.
Strike going up against a Puck, because they know they're pretty much never going to be able to land it
Remaining.
unless they're able to kind of bait out one of those phase shifts. But Puck, for the most part, will be holding on to it. However, there is a little bit of a mind game there, and the Puck could know that you didn't put the point in Shadow Strike, and then, of course, trade hits with you right-click for right-click, because he knows that he's got Phase Shift on his side there to dodge some of those auto-attacks. Pain picking up the Witch Doctor. So they're going to run Witch Doctor and Juggernaut, and Isurus immediately picking up the Bristleback, which will synergize quite well with the Vengeful Spirit. Of course, the minus armor coming out from Wave of Terror is going to amplify the damage coming out from those quills coming out from Bristleback. So right now, we still don't know what that Lina is. Is it a support, or is it going to be in the mid lane? Of course, we could have a couple different variations here. Bristleback, for the most part, is running the
10
off lane.
seconds remaining.
And I'd say, if we look at the percentages, most likely Bristle's in the off
5
lane, Puck's in the
seconds
mid lane,
remaining.
and then we're going to have a support Lina, and we're just waiting on a carry.
Reserve time.
But there are a lot of different variations. Of course, they could put Lina in the mid lane, slide Puck to the off lane, and bring Bristle back into the safe lane. Either way, I believe
Dire
Vengeful Spirit's
team
going to look
back.
like a support. But there are a couple different variations that Isurus could do. Pain now picking up the Brewmaster. And, well, that's going to be their third core, most likely. Queen of Pain has been run a few times as a support recently in
10
kind of
seconds
in the
remaining.
pro play. Haven't really seen it too much in the amateur play, but
5
maybe
seconds
Pain's bringing
remaining.
that out here. But either way, that should be our three cores for Pain Gaming, with the Queen of
Radiant
Pain, the
team
Juggernaut, and the
back.
Brewmaster. I'm guessing that Queen of Pain's going to be mid, Juggernaut safe lane, and then Brewmaster in the off lane. So it looks like Tavo is going to be on the Brewmaster. Dazzle's the last ban coming out from Isurus, so they're pretty convinced that Queen of Pain's going to be a
10
core,
seconds
and that Pain
remaining.
Gaming's just going to look to fill out their roster with another
5
support hero.
seconds
That should
remaining.
pair well with the Juggernaut and the Witch Doctor in lane. Probably something that's going to give them a little bit more
Reserve
lockdown.
time.
They're kind of lacking a little bit when it comes to CC. And I'm trying to think of what would be really valuable for them here. There's a lot of heroes actually that come to mind. Some long-range initiation could be quite strong. Maybe Earthshaker could be a decent pickup as well. We'll have to see what Pain chooses to go with. I spoke about the Enigma earlier on. They could always pick that up. They really like the Enigma. Not only do they run in the off lane, but they also run it as a support as well, and kind of shift it to the jungle. I'm not sure if that's really going to be the best choice for them here. I think something like an Earthshaker may be the best
Dire
overall.
team pick.
As for the last ban coming up from Pain, it's going to be a Dro. So Dro would actually be pretty strong in this lineup. They already have 3 ranged attackers. Dro Aura would, of course, amplify all their damage by quite a substantial margin. And Pain, they do kind of have ways to close the gap. Of course, Queen of Pain could blink on the Dro to cancel that aura, but that's going to put the Queen of Pain in a pretty vulnerable situation. Brewmaster, he can always jump in, lay down the clap, and then split. And that's one way to that they would also be able to close the gap onto the Dro. But it's still not really ideal, so they choose to remove the Dro and force Isurus to maybe pick something else, and they're going to go with the Slark.
Radiant team.
So that should solidify our lanes for Isurus. It will be the Bristleback in the off lane, Puck in the mid lane, and a defensive tri-lane of Vengeful, Spirit, Lina, and Slark. They do have the potential of going aggro with that if they sense a weakness with Pain Gaming. Or maybe if they want to run the Bristleback against the Brewmaster. I don't think there's any actual advantage there.
10 seconds
I think that's pretty even lane. So I don't think they're going to necessarily go for that unless they really see a weakness in Pain Gaming's tri-lane. But they've already got Juggernaut and Witch Doctor, which are 2 pretty strong heroes when it comes to tri-lanes. And they may not choose to go with that, especially when you park a Witch Doctor and maybe if Pain Gaming chooses to pick up another ranged hero in behind. Okay. So it is going to be a support Queen of Pain. The Shadow Fiend gets picked up. So it's going to be Shadow Brewmaster in the off lane and Queen of Pain as a support with Witch Doctor and Juggernaut in the safe lane. Interesting stuff coming out from Pain Gaming. Well, they've got nothing to lose, but, you know, of course they want to finish 3rd in the group. So they want this win as badly, if not more so, than Isurus. And they're bringing out all the stops here with a Queen of Pain support. Interesting stuff. Pain Gaming, they really love running the Shadow Fiend. They run it more so when they're playing with HFN, but it looks like they've got Soon on the stand-in again tonight. I'm not sure if that is actually a roster change, as he was playing for them the night before as well. So maybe that has just been a change that they've made to their roster, and looks like Soon is one of those players that can play a bunch of Shadow Fiend as well. So kind of just replacing the spot of HFN. Well, let's introduce our teams here as we get into this game. We've got Pain Gaming taking up the Radiant side. Soon is going to be on the Shadow Fiend. King RD is going to be on the Queen of Pain. 40R is going to be on the Juggernaut. Tavo is going to be on the Brewmaster, and Baga is going to be on the Witch Doctor. For our Dire side, it's Team Isurus Gaming. We've got Fullback playing their Vengeful Spirit. Papita is going to be playing the Slark. DDX is going to be on the Puck. Dulcimania is going to be on the Bristleback, and Nidara is going to be on the Lina. Once again, Isurus taking the position into the Radiant jungle. We saw them do this earlier in the tournament in the last game that they played, as they just rushed down here, make sure that they could take over this jungle, get an Observer Ward up. This is, of course, the one that everyone refers to as the Magic Bush. It'll block both this camp from spawning and the standard pull camp from spawning. And it also gives you a fair amount of vision in the Radiant jungle for any kind of rotations. But it doesn't look like Isurus will stay down there, so it doesn't look like they're going to go for an aggressive tri-lane, as they're going to leave the Bristleback and start heading back up to the top lane. Papita getting right-clicked down by Pain. Pain really loves to go hard on the top rune location when they are on the Radiant side. We've seen them do that a few times. I think it actually net them first blood in the first game that we saw them play against Summoner's Rift. But against Leviathan and now against Isurus, didn't work out for them similarly. But as for our lanes, it's going to be Shadow Fiend against Puck in the mid lane. Unfortunately, we have a pause, but that'll give us time to look at the lanes. We've got Tavo on the Brewmaster in the top lane with the Witch Doctor. So Witch Doctor's sitting up there. That's interesting. We've got Vengeful Spirit, Slark, and eventually, as she makes her way up there, Lina in the top lane. In the bottom lane, that leaves Bristleback going up against the Juggernaut and the support Queen of Pain. One reason that they may elect... Oh, we got a magic missile coming out. I don't think they're really going to be able to do much to Tavo here. But they will pounce on in, and maybe actually Baga's going to be the one in trouble, as that was a good target switch coming out from Isurus, as they do get the first blood there, goes to the Lena, so that's a good amount of gold going in her pockets. That'll allow her to pick up her boots of speed as soon as she just kind of ventures over to the side shop, and that'll help her get into range and really initiate. If you did have a choice, even though Lena's more of a position 4 than the Vengeful Spirit, if you did have a choice of who that first blood went to, you would have preferred it going to the Vengeful Spirit out of the 2 supports, because Vengeful Spirit's going to be the one that's actually going to be initiating against the off lane or against this top lane, more so, because, well, her magic missile is kind of guaranteed. If you can get in range, you know it's going to land on your target. Light Strike Array, you have to area target it, and there's always a chance that it could get juked and you could miss it. Dolce Mania getting harassed up here by King RD, who's jumped on in and now doing some terrific job at blocking. But I think Dolce Mania is going to be able to get out of there perfectly fine. King RD was going to be the only one who was going to have to commit to that, as the Juggernaut was already out of range, and he backed away, given that he was already up to 3, if not 4 stacks of the Quill Spray. The point I was trying to make about why they're going to be having the Witch Doctor up here in the top lane and running 2-1-2 lanes is partly because they are running the support Queen of Pain. And what that means is, well, Queen of Pain, as a hero in general, is a hero that really likes XP, more so than other heroes. You really want to get those levels under her skills, as pretty much all of them skill pretty well. And once she gets that XP, then she can be a lot more effective. But when you put her in a tri-lane, she's going to be very limited in the amount of XP that she gets. Running dual lanes, 2-1-2 setup, then Queen of Pain is going to get more XP than she would in, of course, the tri-lane. King RD now actually making a rotation towards the mid lane. I was wondering if he's going to go to try and grab the courier, but I think he realized that some stacking was going to be coming out here from the Bristleback, and he just wanted to disrupt it. He actually didn't have to block the camp because it was already the pull wasn't done correctly, because I think the Bristleback had just seen the Queen of Pain coming in and chose to back away because he didn't want to risk his life. Some good pulling that was being done here by Isurus to pull their creep wave to this camp, but Pain taken, or they're not going to take any of that, as they're just going to run over there and kill the creeps. But Tava's going to get stunned up by that arcane missile, and then he's going to get followed up by a light trick array and a pounce. Pepita will get the kill, but he will go down. Baga getting the return kill. I mean, when it first started happening, I didn't think there was any risk at all for Pepita there, but all of a sudden, the clap came out from the Brewmaster, and Pepita basically had no life. Witch Doctor, 1 auto attack, and, well, we saw the return kill. We got Hastrun getting acquired here by Dolce Mania. He'll just take that to run back down to the bottom lane. He may actually take the creep wave with him. Yeah, okay. So what he's doing here is he's running and grabbing the creep wave. Notice how he keeps turning back. It's making sure that he doesn't lose the creep wave from following him. If you especially lose vision, the creep wave will just kind of go back to their normal patterns. And by doing this, he's bringing the creep wave back to a safer position where he's closer to his tower. But it looks like Tavo's in trouble once again. He's already been hit with a pounce. He's going to get followed up with Arcane Missile. Light Strike Array is available. No, it is not. It's already been used. Sorry. There was a little bit of overlap there, as fullback taking a little bit of damage, but he'll be okay. Light Strike Array will come out now to stun up Baga, and that'll just get them a little bit of extra damage in, but it won't actually net them a kill. Dragon Slave also thrown out there, but didn't really deal too much damage. It is level 2, so electing to go 2 points in Dragon Slave and only 1 in the Light Strike Array, and that's kind of your standard build for Alina. So let's see how our mid lane's going, as we've got Soon at 28 and 5 CS going up against DDX, who's at 28 and 6. So we're pretty much dead even right now in terms of CS in the mid lane, and that's actually pretty good. I think that's actually advantage Puck right now. Puck being able to keep up with the Shadow Fiend. Of course, Shadow Fiend's ability to farm is going to explode as he gets more and more levels into that Shadow Rays, allowing him to get more and more souls, getting that Necromastery up past the 28 soul mark. And the other thing is that Shadow Fiend, of course, especially when he's on Radiant, he has access to that camp that he was just farming so easily. It's so close to the mid lane. And he just basically pushes the mid lane and then goes and farms up that camp as well. So essentially he has more creeps available to him than the Puck does.
Middle tower is under attack.
See, Fullback and Nidera both made their way to the mid lane. The Fullback hasn't shown, although he would have shown right now to that melee creep. So maybe they're just going to make a rotation back around, as they weren't really going to be able to get a kill there onto the Shadow Fiend. I think the rotation was more to just secure the top rune. Well, Pepita has taken a little bit of damage here, but he's going to be hitting 6 relatively soon. So those 2 tangos should be enough to keep his HP pool up until he has access to his ultimate. Tavo, about to hit level 5, so still a little ways away from hitting 6 for that Brewmaster split. Baga, of course, has just about even XP with Tavo. So he's going to have Death Ward available to him relatively soon as well. We have a little bit of an XP advantage here for Shadow Fiend in the mid lane. That's because he's able to go to these camps and farm them up. 40R just about to hit 6 as well. So he may choose to actually leave the bottom lane and try and get a kill, or they may just choose to kind of park him here and just leave him here farming. And I think that's probably going to be the best call, as they kind of expect the heroes like their Brewmaster to be moving around more, but they just lost their Brewmaster, so he's set behind even further. As Baga's going to get stunned up, but King RD did just TP on up here, so he should be able to keep the Witch Doctor alive. And he was kind of fishing for another kill, maybe a little bit of return kill there, but it's not going to happen. Pepita was kind of low, but he did still have that Shadow Dance available to him, so you can't really commit to it too much, because committing to it would be, well, you're committing to it because you want the trade, the support trade your own life as a support for the safe lane carry. And with Shadow Dance available, it makes it difficult to ensure that trade is actually going to happen. DDX just jaunting away, as he had just picked up the top rune. King RD just making his way back down to the bottom lane, it looks like. As we really want to see him hitting 6 soon, so we can start having a bigger impact on the map. And he might choose to come over here and just kind of disrupt this ancient farming that Dolce Mania is doing. And he should know what's going on because, well, the Bristleback hasn't shown in the bottom lane. And I think he's going to come over and do that right now. He's had a TP delivered to him with the courier.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But once again, Dolce Mania's got haste, so it's going to be difficult to really shut him down. Shadow Strike will come out, and that'll deal a little bit of damage, but King RD needs to be careful, as we got Fullback wrapping in behind him. He will place an Observer Ward, and now King RD's in a bad place, but never mind, Fullback's probably in the bad place, as 40R comes on in, uses the Omni Slash, and that's going to be a kill for 40R. King Gaming move to 2 kills. And now King RD will get stunned up by the Light Strike Array. I think, yes, he will go down. He was almost able to get that blink off, but he died to the Lina before he was able to do so. And now the Lina will take a little bit of this farm on the Ancient camp. Dolce Mania, oof, so close, almost died to the Ancients there. Needs to be careful. And as soon as this is gone, I think he'll go back to the fountain, get a little bit of HP. But this has bought a little bit of space for Tavo to kind of sit up here in the top lane, not only to get some experience, but also get closer and closer to that Blink Dagger.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to mute for 1 second, guys. I apologize.
Regeneration.
I really apologize there. My nose needed to be blown there. But we're going to jump right back into this as, well, let's take a quick look at our net worth and see where we stand. And looks like Pain Gaming's taken up the top 2 slots as the Shadow Fiend pulling out in front, and that's what you typically expect with the Shadow Fiend. He should be leading 10 or 11 minutes into the game in the net worth. Unless he's died a few times in the lane, which of course that hasn't happened this game, so you expect him to be out in front. But 40R has been keeping with him on the Juggernaut at about 5k net worth himself. Then top farmer on Isurus is actually the Puck at 4k. So Pepita was actually quite limited in the amount of farm he was able to get in that top lane, as he's only at 4k net worth. We did just have the bottom tier 1 tower go down in favor of Pain Gaming. So our first tower is off the board.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
King RD electing to go with Tranquil Boots on that Queen of Pain. So we keep an eye on Tavo to see how close he's getting to that Blink Dagger. He just has 500 gold on him right now. 40R sitting at 1100. Has already picked up a Mask of Madness. And we just see Soon picking up a mech as his first item on the Shadow Fiend. Baga taking the opportunity to farm up in the top lane while pretty much no one's up here. The closest hero is all the way in the middle of the dire jungle and heading the opposite way, and that's Dolce Mania. So a lot of space here for Baga, although he is being rather cautious, as there's 4 heroes for Isurus not showing on the map right now. The only one showing is Nidara, who's well, another support farming up in the mid lane, as we got a little bit of smoke gank coming in from the side from Pain Gaming, as I think I've completely DC'd here. As, yep, I've DC'd, so hopefully we'll be able to reconnect back in. Looks like my internet connection's running perfectly fine with everything on the stream. As, uh-oh. Is the Dota 2 network down? No, not looking like it. Huh. I may just have to reconnect here. I'm not sure what's going on. This typically doesn't happen. I'm just going to hop on over to another thing here and see if... Oh, looks like we're catching up. Yes, okay. Are we good? I think we are good. Yep, okay, we're good.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not sure what that was. Doesn't look like anyone else really felt that.
Fortified.
But it's weird. My internet connection was perfectly fine with the stream. So you guys shouldn't have seen any stuttering. There was no drop frames. But apparently my connection to Dota 2 just, well, kind of crapped out on itself there. But it looks like we did have a little bit of a fight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I'm not sure what the outcome of that was. Looks like Shadow Fiend got an assist in all of it. I think it was a 1-for-1 in the end. As I'm DCing again. What's going on? I may just have to reconnect here. So you know what? I'm going to do that when we see a break in the actions. It looks like Pain's actually going to try and pressure the tier 1 here, but DDX is going to jump on in. He's going to get a Dream Coil off onto 3. His teammates are coming in to follow, but they're going to choose to back away as they see the TP support coming in from King RD. And they just, well, they had defended the tier 1 tower, and that's what their goal was. However, Pain Gaming not backing away. They're choosing to come right back on in and take this fight, knowing that Isurus doesn't have the Dream Coil available to them. It is just a 4... Well, I was going to say 4v4, but it's actually a 4v5 right now. So if Pain Gaming chooses to take this fight, they are going to be down a man. Tavo's sitting up there in the top lane, getting some damage in on the tier 1 tower. But this looks like a little bit of a standoff here in the mid lane. As King RD will throw a Shadow Strike, getting a little bit of harass damage in onto the Bristleback. As they will take the high ground once again. That tower is down now to 78 HP. It is deniable. It was deniable before, but Isurus not choosing to go after it. The Shadow Fiend will just get completely blown up. He did get the mech off, but it's not enough to keep himself alive. As it's actually going completely the opposite as we've lost 4, count it 5 heroes on the side of Isurus. So they do get the kill on the Shadow Fiend, blew him up really quickly, but it costs them all 5 heroes to do so. Tav, of course, made his way back into that fight, and by doing so, he got himself closer and closer to that Blink Dagger, now at 1,500 gold. And if they actually are able to get this tier 2 tower, which it looks like they may be able to, although actually the pings are coming out that they want it back. But either way, Tavo getting closer and closer to that Blink Dagger, and then he can start having an even bigger presence in the team fights. 40R has picked up a Yasha. Baga sitting at 1,400. He's probably going to go pick up his point booster now, which will start him on his way to going after his Egg Scepter. Soon has picked up a Staff of Wizardry, so it looks like he's going to be building into your standard mech Yules build on the Shadow Fiend. As for Pepita, looks like he's picked up a Claymore and is going to be building towards a Shadow Blade. DDX does have his Blink Dagger, but we've already seen him using that previously. He also has 850, now 900 gold with that bounty rune on hand. Fullback, just kind of your typical support items, no real item progression yet. Dolce Mania has elected to go with the Vanguard on the Bristleback, so that's going to keep him, make him a little bit more tanky. It's actually, I think overall Vanguard is actually a less defensive item than going for a mech. The upside is that Vanguard can now be built into a Crimson Guard, so it will give them a little bit better late game scaling than a mech would. However, I think the mech would be quite valuable going up against the support Queen of Pain, and just the amount of damage that can come out from Pain Gaming in the early and mid phases of this game. We just had Nidera TP away, as well, actually just got enough gold to buy his Yule Scepter, so he got that completed. And it looks like I'm getting the lag again, as Tavo has just picked up his Blink Dagger. So I'm actually going to disconnect and reconnect into this game, and hopefully our lag will be cleared up. I'll be back with you guys in just a second.
My fever breaks.
We're back on this, and looks like we're in the middle of a team fight. As Dream Coil will go out, just catch 40R, but it's hard to find out where to look here, as Pepita was wrapping around in behind with fullback, but they're actually going to back away as they did a little bit of counter warding, and with Pain Gaming coming back, they're going to make sure that they're nowhere even close to them, so that they don't get picked off. But looks like that fight went slightly in favor of Pain Gaming. As that little bit of farm will allow Pepita to finish his Shadow Blade on the Slarg. DDX has picked up a Void Stone, and he's got 1,100 gold, so maybe going for a Yule Scepter as well on the puck, or maybe just buying that and starting to build towards his Sheepstick. But Pain Gaming will choose to go on into the Roche Pit, as they know their opponents actually don't have any vision here, but it is a somewhat risky play to go for. Isurus going and pressuring the tier 1 tower, and they should know if Pain Gaming is nowhere around here, then oh my goodness, DDX actually jumped into the pit and will snatch the Aegis. Big play coming up from DDX. Tavo jumping up on the high ground, throws down the clap, but it'll be off the mark. Huge play coming out from DDX. Not only did he steal it, he still has it in his inventory, just barely surviving there with less than 10 HP. 40R will find a kill for them, as he will use the Omni Slash onto fullback. Pepita, though, cleaning up a kill on King RD. I apologize for the camera work there. I was a little all over the place, as it was kind of sloppy, that team fight. Or certainly sloppier than I would expect, as once again I am freezing. I don't... Like, surely this isn't
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
A problem on my end. I will try to connect one more time. Actually, you know what? I'm going to restart Dota 2 real fast and just make sure it's nothing like that. As hopefully we'll be able to rejoin real quick here. As I've never had this. I've never seen this happen with Dota TV. So hopefully it's just a one-game thing. But we'll hop right back into this as soon as the live games pop up. There we go. And we got the Wisp loading screen. I like this Wisp loading screen. It's one of my favorite load screens. But so far, it looks like Pain Gaming in the driver's seat in this game thus far, as they've been kind of taking control of the game. They've been the pace setters. They've been the ones moving around, really dictating what goes, what's going to happen in the game. However, you know, they went for that Roche, and it was maybe a little bit of a risky play.
Radiant's bottom tower is
And
under
they got
attack.
punished for it with their mid-tier 1 tower, but they got punished with it a little bit more than just that, as they had the Aegis get snatched. It looks like we had a little bit of an exchange of 2 support heroes, and we're getting some lag again. Well, guys, I don't know what to say. But all we can hope is that the lag will clear up, as it looks like Baga's getting picked off here. So Pain Gaming will lose another hero, and Isurus somewhat closing the gap. It's now 13-10 in terms of hero score. Let's take a look at our gold graph and see how far ahead Pain is, and they're 7,500 gold ahead. But it looks like, you know, when you see the graph continually increasing, you know, okay, Pain Gaming, not only are they in the lead, but they're furthering that lead, but it's kind of leveled out. So Isurus stopped the bleeding. It's not coming back down, but they've at least stopped the bleeding, so it's not the lead isn't getting bigger for Pain Gaming. And now they have to look at trying to reel a little bit of that difference back in. XP, it's about the same, just about 7,500 XP in favor of Pain Gaming as well. DDX and fullback just doing a little bit of counter warding, working together there. 40R electing to go with the Manta style. We'll actually bring up the gold or the item graph to see what everyone has picked up. Looks like King RD's halfway or so towards finishing his Orchid on that support Queen of Pain. We just mentioned 40R with his Manta. We still just have a Blink Dagger on Tavo. Hasn't really made any item progression. Baga has actually picked up an Urn of Shadow, so didn't go for the point booster. Instead, just completed the Urn and then also Tranquil Boots. So getting a little bit of a stronger foundation on the Witch Doctor rather than electing to go straight after that Egg Scepter. As for our Dire side, we had the Shadow Blade picked up quite a while ago, and we see Pepita has managed to farm out 3,400 gold, but hasn't bought anything with it yet. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of item he chooses to go for, whether he just kind of goes to build into your typical Scotty or what. But he will find a kill here on Baga, as Baga was just kind of venturing in through the jungle. And actually it won't be a kill, as King RD comes in, and Baga was able to keep himself alive. Must have, yeah, he's actually maxed Voodoo Restoration, so that's how he was able to keep his HP pull up, despite the fact that the Slark was wailing away on him. DDX did pick up a Yules on that puck, and looks like Dolce Mania has also picked up a Blade Mail. But looks like we have got the makings of a fight, as King RD is going to get picked off, but 40R is going to jump on in with that Omni Slash and get a return kill on the Vengeful Spirit, but now he's on the run, as Pepita, Dolce Mania, Nidara, and DDX are in pursuit, but it looks like 40R will get away, as Spin allowed him to not be targeted by those viscous nasal goos coming out from the bristleback. Soon just completed a BKB. It's going to be flying in on the courier right now. And looks like we also have Vlad's coming out for Tavo on the Brewmaster. Of course, when you're talking about auras on Brewmaster, when he actually splits, those auras still do apply. So it's one way that you can still scale as a Brewmaster when you're in your split form. Other items like, I don't know, Orb Effects or crits or something like that or even something like a butterfly or something like that won't apply when you're in your split form. So you typically want to pick up auras or something like that that'll at least make your split, your spirits a little bit stronger. Otherwise, when you split, that net worth is kind of wasted. As you see, you know, Tavo doesn't really have the highest net worth in this game, as he's just sitting down kind of middle of the pack at 6,400. But still, you want that net worth to be going to helping the team fight. We had an ultimate orb picked up by 40R after Manta, so it looks like he's probably going for a Scotty as his next item on the Juggernaut. Of course, he could be going after a Sheep Stick, but now they just picked up a second ultimate orb. I think that pretty much solidifies his item choice, as he's going to be going after the Scotty. DDX just bottling up an Invisor, and he's got an ultimate orb of his own, so he's looking towards building a Sheep Stick. As it looks like Isurus really trying to take over this Radiant jungle, really trying to limit their farm and try to put some aggression on. They actually have 4 wards on the map right now, as they've got 2 somewhat defensive wards and then 2 aggressive wards trying to take over the Radiant jungle. As for Pain, their wards are a little bit spread out. They've got one protecting their jungle and another one all the way up in the top lane up here, being a little bit more aggressive. But it looks like they're not going to need it to get this kill, as DDX was just kind of trapped. He had no way to go. There's no way he was going to get away to the right. He'd already thrown his orb to the left, so he tried to jump back, but it was covered well by Pain Gaming. Will Pain look to push on the back of this? I saw the ping come out on the tier 2 tower, so it looks like they're going to go and punish Isurus for losing a hero there. Of course, Roche still not available to them. We'll be up in just over 2 minutes. We actually can't see because we just reconnected. But yeah, I believe it's about 2 or 3 minutes until we'll see Roche. So all 5 heroes here for Pain Gaming.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Actually playing pretty tight and close together here, as they didn't want to overextend there. They wanted to go for that tier 2 tower. They got the tier 2 tower, and that was their objective. They took it, and now they're going to back. So not overextending, playing some good responsible Dota.
I'll take that.
And so far, I have to say, Pain, they're definitely in the driver's seat thus far. They're in a pretty good position. But Isurus certainly not out of this. Pain actually playing really close together constantly. Even farming this bottom lane, they're staying together. But soon we'll actually walk right past fullback, and fullback's just sitting in the trees. He knows that all the enemy heroes are right around him. He hasn't actually TP'd out. He's just kind of living on edge. There is actually, he walks out, and he's going to get spotted by the catapult. He will try to TP away, and he will be able to do so just barely. He's actually quite lucky that the 2 heroes that were closest to him didn't have any way of interrupting. If that was the Witch Doctor or the Juggernaut or even the Shadow Fiend, all 3 of them would have had a way to interrupt with, of course, the Yules on the Shadow Fiend, the Omni Slash on 40R and the Juggernaut, and of course the cast coming out from the Witch Doctor. A little bit of harass coming out there from the puck. It's Pain Gaming look to try and take this tier 3 tower and go after the racks. We have some TPs coming in from Isurus, as Dolce Mini actually TP'd down onto the low ground. He's going to look to try and engage from the side, as we will have the Sonic Wave come out. I don't think it actually hit anyone. Tavo jumping on in, uses the Panda Split, and will force some members of Isurus back. But Dolce Mini did come in from behind, but now he's up in the air thanks to the Yule Scepter from the Shadow Fiend, and he's going to get right-clicked down. We did just lose King RD, who had pushed up past the racks and got cleaned up. Bristleback will go down now. Now Nidera is the focus target for Pain Gaming. He goes down. I think Pain's just going to back here, as Dolce Mania just bought back into the game on the Bristleback, and with Soon quite low and 40R quite low, I think they're just going to try and back
But
Peter's maybe... Wow, he committed a little bit too far for that. Baga's going to go down. There was a gem dropped on the ground there, and soon getting quite low as well. Maybe they should have just left him for dead. As oh, maybe not. They may choose to re-engage. This healing ward for Juggernaut doing a ton of work. As Dolce Mania may go down here as he's getting right-clicked, and fullback will actually be switched to, and they'll get the kill on him instead. Now DDX jumping on in. This is a really crazy team fight. As Soon has been on such low HP for the majority of this team fight. Now Tavo is going to get focused down by Dolce Mania. But never mind, they're going to turn it around, going after Dolce Mania instead. But Tavo will go down, so will Dolce Mania. Gem on the ground, we're also going to lose the puck off to the side to the two illusions of the Juggernaut. King RD, after freshly respawning, will come up here and rejoin his teammates and pick up the gem. And now I think they'll actually try to push uphill and take those racks that they originally came here for. Just Nidera left to defend. We will have the Vengeful Spirit respawning right now, so fullback will be there as well. And looks like Pain Gaming is actually going to choose just to back away, and for good reason. Roche has respawned, so they're going to try to take that and get an Aegis on their side. They should be able to take it before the puck respawns as well, so don't expect it to get snatched, although we do have Pepita coming on in, and he does have Shadow Blade activated, but he's not going to get there in time. So the Aegis will go on to the Juggernaut. And he's also going to purchase a Skull Basher, so he's got that chance to bash every time he right-clicks, which I imagine he will build into an Abyssal fairly soon. King RD has picked up a point booster to go with the Orchid, which he's finished. Baga does have that point booster, but still quite a ways away from finishing his Egg Scepter, as he has 600 on hand, so that puts him pretty close to about halfway. Shadow Fiend, what does he have? A Daedalus recipe, so he's going to be working towards building that crit, as the Skull Basher is flying out for the Juggernaut right now. As for Tavo, hasn't really picked up anything recently besides an Ogre Club, and he's got another about 1,000 gold on hand as well, so probably working towards a BKB. Pain Gaming looking to keep pushing here up onto the high ground. DDX and fullback, not quite there, but they do both have TP, so they're going to TP on back and look to defend their racks here. As DDX is going to jump on in, not using the Dream Coil, just silencing his opponent. As now Pain Gaming is going to engage here, and they're going to run right back into it. The Brewmaster split has already been used. Bristleback will be the first to fall. Now we're going to lose the Lina as well. And looks like they're going to easily take this Rax without Isurus being able to do too much to defend. Really still haven't seen Pepita be able to do too much in these team fights. He feels really limited, as I just think the lead right now for Pain Gaming is just a little bit too much for Isurus to deal with. As the puck once again jumping in and silencing, still hasn't used the Dream Coil. It's still available to them. But I'm not sure using a Dream Coil now is really going to help them, as unfortunately they will lose their Vengeful Spirit as she got caught out there. And now puck jumping in once again, silencing. Just doing a little bit of harass damage, but the second rack, set of racks, has now fallen. And Pain Gaming, they're not done. They're moving up to the top racks, as they're going to beat away on this tier 3 tower. It's about to fall, and Isurus will have to mount their final stand here, as Pepita, DDX, and Nidera are the only ones left. DDX just went down, as he will buy back into the game. As Tavo jumping past the racks, pushing back the Lina, but 40 yards there, he just says, you know what, why push her back when we can just kill her? But soon has gone down to Pepita and Dolce Mania, and they're going to try to chase down Baga. Looks like Pepita will catch him, and he'll land the pounce. That'll get him a kill. But meanwhile, DDX has gone down. He just fought back, so that's a die back for him. Dolce Mania now is going to go down as well, and it looks like this is going to be the makings of the end, as Pain Gaming has knocked off 3 heroes, now 4 heroes for Isurus, soon to be 5, as looks like Pepita may go down here. 40 are using the split from the Manta, and that's going to be a 5-man wipe. Isurus does have a buyback on Pepita, and he will use it, but GG was already called. Pain Gaming will take it, and that should most likely solidify 3rd place in the group for them. Of course, we do still have one more game. That's between Isurus and Summoner's Rift. Of course, if Isurus wins that, then we would have a tie for 3rd between Pain and Isurus. And I think because Pain beat Isurus, they're ahead. in terms of that. If Isurus loses, then nothing's going to change, and nothing else is going to change from that other standpoint. But looks like that's going to be it for that game, as Pain Gaming take the victory. And, well, looks like they're going to finish third in the group. But like I said, Isurus could mount a little bit of an upset in the next game against Summoner's Rift. And then it will come down to the tiebreakers. I'm not exactly sure how that would work. But either way, it's a spot that wouldn't advance in the tournament. It's just kind of a, we finished blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like an achievement, I guess, in a tournament. Pain Gaming finished third last Canada Cup. Isurus finished fourth, so they'd like to somewhat improve on that. But either way, that's going to wrap it up for this game. I'm sorry about all the disconnects and lag issues that we were having. Obviously, it wasn't an issue on my end, or at least that I can see. It's an issue with at least my client talking with Dota TV and the Dota 2 servers. But, well, I think we all know that the Dota servers can be a little finicky at times. But hopefully you will stick with us for our next game. Like I said, we've got Isurus going up against Summoner's Rift coming up shortly, as I believe that's going to start in about 30 minutes. And, well, if you enjoyed the cast, do please stick around and watch that game. But if you can't, if you got to leave, whatever, hit that follow button below the stream, twitch.tv/NizCast if you're listening in game or whatever. You can also follow me on Twitter at NizCast, and you can also hit me up on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/NizCast, where I upload all the VODs of everything I've cast, including the games I cast last night, the games I'm going to be casting tonight, and, of course, all the games for the rest of the tournament as well. But I'm going to throw it to music while we wait for our next game and our next lobby to be hosted, and hopefully you'll stick with us. And, yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.